Hey guys, Zach here, and welcome back to Tuesday Reviews. And today for Tuesday Reviews, we have the Jurassic Park Series 1 Robert Muldoon figure. Now, before I get on with this video, I just want to say something. This just came to my head Sunday, because this is just a little side note. In 1997, that's when The Lost World came out, and I was watching The Lost World Sunday, and it occurred to me that this movie, sometime in May, is going to be 20 years old. I say May because that's when the film came out in 1997. So yeah, this movie's going to be 20 years old, and I just thought to myself, it'd be pretty cool. I doubt this is going to happen, but it'd be pretty cool if Mattel started making toys for this. I mean, yeah, The Lost World, a lot of people don't like The Lost World. I personally don't understand why. I think The Lost World is a pretty good film, despite what people say online. I mean, it's not as good as the original, but your expectations are way too high if you think that it's going to be as good as the first one. The first one is unmatched, but that's besides the point. But it would be really cool if Mattel made new figures for this. I mean, again, I doubt this is going to happen, but it would be nice to see what Mattel could do. Like, they could just show off what they could do for the Jurassic World 2 toy line. That would be pretty cool, in my opinion. Again, I doubt this is going to happen, but hey, I think it's a good idea. But either way, enough of that. Let's get on with this review. Unfortunately, I do not have the box. I also don't have most of the accessories. I can tell you that this figure does come with a rocket launcher with a couple of projectiles, and that's cool and all. It's just that I think it's kind of pointless, because he comes with a baby T-Rex here. And in my opinion, I just think that's kind of pointless, because basically in the novel, John Hammond wanted to, fix everything that went wrong, like retrieve all the dinosaurs and put them back into their paddocks and open Jurassic Park so another horrible thing could happen and people could die. But yeah, but either way, I just think it's kind of pointless. Robert Muldoon is going to try to go after this baby T-Rex with a rocket launcher. Try to think of what's wrong with that little scenario there. Just baby T-Rex, not an adult, just a baby. Rocket launcher. I don't know. I don't question it. Either way, let's take a look at the single accessory that I have, which is the baby T-Rex. I actually got this guy separately. I saw Robert Muldoon at a flea market, which is why he looks beaten up. I will get more into that. So I tried to go online and I tried to find one of these guys loose. Thankfully, I found it loose with a couple of other things. A little Trendmasters Rodan figure and this grappling hook. I think it's from Jurassic Park, but I don't know. But either way, this is the baby T-Rex. The paint of this figure is really nice. I like the shade of brown for most of the body with this darker color on the back. The JP logo is painted there, although it's sort of faded. I might have to take a Sharpie to that soon. And just just color it in. The eyes are painted black, and the teeth are painted white. The toe claws and the finger claws aren't painted, unfortunately, but this is a small figure, so what you gonna do? The paint gets a pass. There is no articulation, but none of the hatchling dinosaurs did. The sculpt is the worst thing about this figure. In fact, this is my least favorite hatchling that I own because of the sculpt. It just looks very ugly in my opinion. I still like this figure. It's just not my favorite out of the baby dinosaurs that I own. First we'll take a look at the head, and that head sculpt is, well, it's kind of ugly in my opinion. I shouldn't have to explain why this looks ugly, especially from the front. That actually looks more nightmarish than anything, but yeah. Just something about this sculpt I really don't like. Also, on this tail right here is very Velociraptor-like, and I've seen reviews online that call this guy a Velociraptor, and I believe that because, Robert Muldoon and Velociraptors. If you've seen Jurassic Park, then you know how the character would feel about the Velociraptors, but I don't know. All I'm saying is this looks more like a raptor than anything. mainly because of the tail, but I don't know. The Series 2 Robert Muldoon actually came with a baby Velociraptor, which is kind of interesting, but yeah, that's that. Just, the sculpt on this thing is not the best. It's not my favorite, but it still is somewhat decent. The detailing on this figure is actually really nice for a little figure. There is nice detailing in the head right there. Just gonna let my camera focus, just give it a second. There we go. Just nice detailing on the head right there. We can see a bunch of creases and wrinkles in the neck right there. Going down to the body, we have more musculature detail and little pebbles on the body. The arm is detailed very nicely. The legs are detailed very nicely, as well as the toe claws. They're sculpted very nicely. More detailing underneath the tail. I like this little vein right here. It goes along the tail. A little too long, but it looks nice. More bumps on the top of the skin. And underneath the body, there are bits of scaling right there. Reminds me of the underside of a crocodile, which looks really nice. And yeah, that's basically it for this little baby T-Rex. Not my favorite, but it's still pretty decent. Now let's take a look at Robert Muldoon here, and this figure is beaten up. That's because I got this guy at a flea market loose. I actually bought him for $1, which was very good. I mean, loose with none of the accessories, it's probably, I'd say $5. Not expensive at all, but just paying $1 is better than paying $5. But either way, let's take a look at the paint on this figure. His inner shirt is painted this tan color, this dirty tan, with a white vest. The JP badge right here. And it actually makes sense for Robert Muldoon to have a Jurassic Park badge. Because with all the other human figures, they had a Jurassic Park badge. Ellie Sattler had one, Alan Grant had one, and Tim had one. And they never worked at Jurassic Park, and it really didn't make sense that they would have the badge. Robert Muldoon actually worked at Jurassic Park, so it actually makes sense that he has the badge. But either way, that's just something to point out. The pants are the same color as the shirt right here. He has a belt with all of these little pockets and compartments. They can't open. Well, they can't open. For the legs, they're painted skin color, just fleshy color, with a giant machete on the side of his leg. I mean, I don't understand how that would be convenient. Maybe if it was like a pocket right here, but instead it's on the side of his leg. That doesn't make sense to me, but then again, I don't know anything about hunting and stuff, so I couldn't tell you. The boots are painted brown, and yeah, just holes on the bottom there, and yeah. Also, the hair is painted like this bright brown color, almost tan. And yeah, that's basically it for the paint. Someone online says that the paint is more accurate on the Series 2 Robert Muldoon, and I kind of disagree with that. In the movie, he had this sort of coloring. Series 2 was more green and black. I don't know, this one just looks more film accurate. The head for the Series 2 Robert Muldoon looks more accurate than the head on this Robert Muldoon, but either way, it's still nice. Articulation, the head can twist 360. Actually, no, it can't. I lie. The collar right here kind of gets in the way. But the arms can move 360. The legs can move this much forward, and that's as far back as they can go. Not much articulation, but it is a figure from 1993, so yeah. So the articulation gets a pass. The sculpt of this figure is really nice. The head sculpt doesn't look anything like Bob Peck, but still the sculpt is nice. This arm is, for some reason, protruding out more than this arm. That's just something to bring up, but either way, that's basically it for the sculpt. And now we'll take a look at the detailing, and the detailing on this figure is really nice. There is nice detailing in the hair right there. The face is detailed very nicely as well. The vest is detailed very nicely, as well as the shirt and pants. This belt right here is also detailed nicely, with all these little compartments right here. Little strap right here, again, is detailed nicely. The knife here, yeah, it's detailed nicely. And the boots, again, are detailed nicely. It would have been nice if there was a little bit more detailing, but what you gonna do? This is a toy from 1994. What you gonna do? And yeah, that was basically it for the Jurassic Park Series 1 Robert Muldoon figure. Again, I don't have all the accessories, and I do apologize for that, but should you get this? I'd say yes. If you want, definitely get it with the accessories. Oh yeah, something I want to bring up. This is something I forgot to mention for the Ellie Sattler figure. She can't hold the grappling hook well. I don't know if it's just mine, but every time I try to put it in her hand, it just ends up popping out. So, yeah, she can't hold it, but either way, that's just something to bring up. And Tim has a bit of trouble carrying the snare as well. And I don't know about Grant because I got mine loose. But either way, I don't know how much this figure is. In box, I'm sure it's not cheap, but loose with all the accessories, I'm sure it's around 13 bucks. Not bad at all, but if you want to know how big this figure is, here he is next to Dr. Billy Grant. Alright, now that is it for today. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, Zach out.